Good afternoon, welcome. This is the Suffolk Crunch back for our match preview show. Everton at home tomorrow, 8th game of the season. Town looking for their first victory. Firstly, got a bit of tech now. Shout out to the person who sent me this. I've also got one of them small little mics coming, so hopefully the sound will be a bit better. Well, hopefully the sound today's crystal clear. But yeah, a couple of mics from the TikTok shop coming. Big news as well. We have absolutely smashed through the 2,000 subscribers barrier. It's gone literally mad today. I don't know what's going on. We've got over nearly 300 subscribers today. So next port of call, 2,500. Get there as quick as we can. Anyway, yeah, tomorrow Sean Dyche brings Everton to Portman Road. Everton lost their first 4 games of the season, and they've obviously picking up 5 points in the last 3 games. They beat Crystal Palace. They drew last time out at home to Newcastle. So yeah, they've picked up. Obviously, they've had a bit of a nightmare start, but things are looking a bit more rosy now for Dyche's team. You think he's coming for probably a lot of criticism, which may be unfair. I don't really know. There's a couple of previews from Everton fans on the channel if you want to go and have a look at them. I'm on an Everton pod tonight at 9:15. Toffee podcast, I think that's called. I'll share it on the socials if you want to come over and have a look on YouTube and get involved in the chat. But yeah, if you look at last season, they would have finished 12th without the points deductions, which I think is probably a decent season for Everton. But obviously they're expecting bigger things now. They've got a takeover in the pipeline. So hopefully that will come to fruition. They've obviously moved into the new stadium next season, which is looking very good if you see it on social media. So it's all about probably this season staying in the division. Dyche will probably get replaced, I would have thought, if Everton get new ownership, because you've only got to look at most clubs when new owners come in. Town being a prime example. Paul Cook didn't last very long, did he? And then obviously Kieran McKenna come in. But let's have a look at the Town team possibly for tomorrow. There's some injury news. Kieran's done his press conference this afternoon. No Jens Kajus, no Massimo Luongo. Massimo's going to be missing these 4 games. He's picked up an injury before the international break. Dara O'Shea, he is doubtful. I think he's got a bit of a back problem. They've got to assess him in the morning. Jacob Greaves, I've heard a whisper, hasn't trained this week. So it could be a much change back 4. Obviously, Muric will be in goal. Leif Davis will be our left back. And then I think it's pretty much up in the air. If Greaves is injured, I would see Cameron Burgess being the natural replacement for him on the left-hand side of defence. There's a lot of talk. I put a tweet out this morning. Personally, I think Ben Johnson, I think he should keep his place. We've signed him. Obviously, Axel Tuanzebe is out for not going to be a short period of time, probably 3 months. But it all depends on how that heals. So you've signed Ben Johnson as your right back. Yeah, he didn't have a great game at West Ham, but then neither did a lot of players. And I think he's probably the one who's come in for a lot of unfair criticism, if I'm being honest. Always seems to be a bit of a scapegoat with the Town fans. Someone has to sort of take that sort of mantle, and it looks at the minute it's Ben Johnson, but I think it's way too early to judge, and people writing him off on the socials. Saying he's rubbish, he's this, he's that. Yeah, he's not had a great start, but let's remember Leif Davis, when he came to the football club, didn't have a great start. So, and West Ham did want to offer Ben Johnson a 5-year contract. So, be interesting to see if he keeps his place. Obviously, you've got Harry Clark now chomping at the bit, looking for his first taste of Premier League football. So, be interesting what happens there. Obviously, Dara O'Shea, if he's fit, he can play right back. He obviously started in the last 2 games for the Republic. So it'd be interesting to see what the defensive shape looks like. I think it might be a case of who's fit. But yeah, it would be nice to see Cameron Burgess get his Premier League debut. He's obviously behind Jacob Greaves in the pecking order, but we'll just have to wait and see till 1:45 tomorrow. Two centre midfielders pick themselves, obviously with them two injuries, Morsey and Calvin Phillips, with Jack Taylor probably coming on off the bench. You're wide, right. Look, I know there's a lot of talk about Amari. I'm sticking with Wes Burns there, especially at home with the defensive job he does as well. So Wes starts there for me. Amari still stays in the 10. He had a really good appearance the other night when he came off the bench for the 21s against Azerbaijan. 3 assists and a goal. So hopefully that will boost his confidence. And then on the left-hand side, I'd probably go for Jack Clark. He was quiet at West Ham, but I think at home we're going to be looking to attack. It could be that you could bring in Smodics. You could play Smodics in the 10. Not a natural 10 in my opinion. He plays more just off the striker. So that's another thing you could sort of tweak. And obviously Liam Delap up front. We hope he's got his scoring boots on. Obviously 4 goals in 7 games. But yeah, big game for Town tomorrow. Obviously it's a 4-game block and then it's another international break, which probably I can hear you groaning. But that is the last one until March. So you can get a bit of flow to your season. I see Kieran did reference that in his press conference today. You know, we're always used to be playing Saturday, Tuesday, but in the Premier League, you have got more time on the training field. So it sort of swings and roundabouts, I suppose. But big game for Town tomorrow, in my opinion. I did put did I do a tweet? Or it might have been, I might have popped a video out early in the week saying, is this a must-win game for Town? A lot of people coming back, interestingly saying it's a must-not-lose. And I think that's a real negative mindset, if I'm being honest. For me, if we're going to stay in the Premier League, and we all hope that we do, we are obviously 7 games in. This is game number 8. You need to be starting winning your home games against teams who are in and around you, which Everton are. Leicester City, the next home game, they're down there with us as well. So for me, these 2 home games we've got coming up, we really do need to be taking 6 points. It's not going to be easy. We know that. It's the Premier League. Everton have got some really good players. If you look in their lineup, you know, Dwight McNeil, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, good player when he's fit, and he's fit at the minute. So that'll be a challenge for Town's defence, I'd have thought, tomorrow. They'll look to hit him. They'll probably be quite physical. They'll look at their set pieces. Jared Brathwaite's another one. I'm interested to see if he plays, because obviously he's really, really highly thought of. There's a lot of talk about him going to Man United in the summer. But it'd be interesting to see how Liam Delap can match up to him if he does in fact play. Obviously Tarkovsky's their other centre-half from Burnley. I think Mikalenko's fit, so he'll probably come in at left-back. Seamus Coleman, I think, is back in training. Good player. Obviously Jordan Pickford in goal. Let's hope the Jordan Pickford of the Greece game turns up. But he's still a very good goalkeeper. But yeah, look, real hard game for Town tomorrow. And I'm going to contradict myself a little bit because I think we need to win. Personally, I think it's going to be another draw. I think it's going to be a tight game. I think it probably will end up 1-1. But I'm hoping that the crowd can sort of help and just push us over the line and maybe just nick that win, and that gives us a bit of a boost of confidence before we head to Brentford next week. Anyway, quickly, I thought I'd touch on obviously big news this week. Thomas Tuchel has taken over the England coach's role for 18 months. Interesting to hear Eddie Howe's press conference today when he said he wasn't interviewed, because they did say the CEO, I heard him last night saying they'd interviewed, there was 10. There were some English coaches in there. It would be really, well, look, we're not going to, because they're going to keep it under wraps. Be great if we could find out who they actually interviewed. I would be amazed if they didn't interview Jurgen Klopp because he was out of work. Obviously now he's in at Red Bull as their sporting director. Pep would have been probably on the list. I don't know what he's going to do in the summer, but I think after that, the next elite coach, in my opinion, is Thomas Tuchel. You know, he's done a really good job at Chelsea under real difficult circumstances. People will say he didn't win the Bundesliga with Bayern Munich yet, which is fair play, but I think he is a very good coach. He's very good with the media, and he's hopefully going to be the one who can take us to that next level. I don't think there is a whole host of English coaches, which is probably sad, if I'm being honest, but does it really bother me? Not really. I just think it's you get the best person for the job. If he's English, great. If he's not, you just get on with it. But Thomas Tuchel, wish him all the best, and hopefully he can bring some silverware home for England. But we will have to wait and see, because we've had big hopes before when obviously Capello came in. Sven obviously had the golden generation, but obviously didn't get us over the line. But yeah, Tuchel's got some really good players to work with. He's got to find a system to fit them in. Not everyone's going to be able to play. There's probably going to be some players unhappy, but it's all about getting that blend right and just seeing what happens. But he's not in till the 1st of January. Obviously got Lee Carsley for the last two Nations League games, I think against Greece and Republic of Ireland, and then he'll go back to under 21s duty. Anyway, cheers for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Hit the like button, and we will be back on Sunday afternoon with the Sunday Stroll. We do it every Sunday. Go out, have a walk, talk about the game in a little bit more reflective sort of mood after you've sort of come out the ground, and sometimes you can sort of say some things then I think that maybe you probably, when you've had a little bit of time to sleep on it, you probably wouldn't have said. But yeah, if you're going to Portman Road tomorrow, get behind the boys. Let's hope we can get them elusive 3 points to get us off and rolling. Obviously, there's some fixtures down the bottom that we could sort of benefit from. Southampton are playing Leicester, so that would be great if that was a draw. Crystal Palace play on Monday night away to Forest, so tough game for them. Wolves at home to City. Can't see Wolves getting a lot there, so it could be an opportunity for Town to steal a bit of a march on some of these teams if we can get those 3 points. But yeah, that is it for today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on Sunday.